The Book of Judas. A title that immediately evokes a sense of mystery and controversy. These words alone spark intrigue and controversy. For centuries, the name Judas has been synonymous with betrayal and treachery. But what if there was more to his story than we ever imagined? This ancient text, hidden for centuries, offers a radically different perspective on one of history's most infamous figures. Judas Iscariot, the disciple who betrayed Jesus. Discovered in the 1970s in a cave in Egypt, the Book of Judas has been the subject of intense study and debate ever since. Unlike the canonical Gospels, which paint Judas as a traitor deserving of condemnation, the Book of Judas presents him as a chosen confidant, entrusted with a secret mission by Jesus himself. This portrayal challenges the traditional narrative and suggests that Judas's actions were part of a divine plan. This startling reinterpretation of Judas's role in the Jesus story has sent shockwaves through theological circles and captured the imaginations of scholars and the public alike. The idea that Judas was not a villain, but rather a pivotal figure in the fulfillment of Jesus' mission, forces us to reconsider our understanding of the events leading up to the crucifixion. It raises profound questions about our understanding of early Christianity, the nature of betrayal, and the very meaning of faith. How do we reconcile this new perspective with centuries of established doctrine? What does it mean for our interpretation of the Bible and the teachings of Jesus? The Book of Judas invites us to explore these questions and more, offering a glimpse into a complex and multifaceted history that continues to shape our beliefs and our world. The story of the Book of Judas's rediscovery reads like an Indiana Jones adventure. Lost for nearly 1,700 years, the only known copy of this ancient text resurfaced in the 1970s. Found in a cave in Egypt, the codex containing the Book of Judas had endured centuries of neglect and damage. Written in Coptic, an Egyptian language using the Greek alphabet, the fragile manuscript required meticulous conservation and translation. Finally, in 2006, the National Geographic Society unveiled the contents of the Book of Judas to the world, igniting a firestorm of debate and discussion. The Book of Judas turns the traditional narrative on its head. This ancient text, discovered in the 1970s and later authenticated, offers a perspective that is both shocking and thought-provoking. It challenges the long-held belief that Judas Iscariot was merely a greedy traitor who betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. Instead of a greedy traitor, Judas is portrayed as Jesus' most trusted disciple, the only one privy to his true teachings. This portrayal suggests a deep, almost esoteric bond between the two, one that transcends the simplistic narrative of betrayal. Judas is depicted as a figure of profound spiritual insight, chosen by Jesus for a role that no other disciple could fulfill. In this version of the story, Jesus instructs Judas to hand him over to the authorities, not as an act of betrayal, but as a necessary step in fulfilling his divine mission. This act, often seen as the ultimate betrayal, is reinterpreted as a courageous and selfless act of obedience. Judas's actions are seen as integral to the unfolding of the divine plan, a plan that required Jesus' sacrifice for the salvation of humanity. This radical reinterpretation of Judas's actions challenges conventional views of good and evil, obedience and betrayal. It forces us to reconsider the nature of loyalty and the complexities of moral choices. The Book of Judas invites readers to explore the nuances of faith and the difficult decisions that often accompany it. It suggests that what we perceive as betrayal might in fact be an act of profound faith and loyalty. It suggests that Judas's actions, though seemingly treacherous, were in fact an act of ultimate loyalty carried out at Jesus' own behest. This perspective not only rehabilitates Judas's image, but also adds a layer of depth to the story of Jesus' passion. It highlights the complexity of human relationships and the often painful choices that define them. The Book of Judas, therefore, serves as a powerful reminder that history is often more complicated than it appears, and that true understanding requires us to look beyond the surface. To understand the Book of Judas, we must place it within the broader context of Gnosticism, a diverse religious and philosophical movement that flourished alongside early Christianity. Gnosticism emphasized personal spiritual knowledge, or gnosis, as the path to salvation. The Book of Judas shares several key Gnostic themes, including a dualistic worldview that contrasts the material world with the spiritual realm. It also reflects Gnostic ideas about the importance of secret knowledge and the role of a divine spark within humanity that seeks liberation from the confines of the material world. Section 5. A glimpse into early Christianity, diverse beliefs and practices. The discovery of the Book of Judas provides, a valuable window into the diversity of beliefs and practices within early Christianity. It reminds us that the Christianity we know today emerged from a complex and often contested landscape of competing interpretations of Jesus' life and teachings. The existence of texts like the Book of Judas challenges the notion of a monolithic early church and highlights the rich tapestry of beliefs and practices that characterize this formative period in Christian history. Section 6. Heresy and Controversy, the Church's rejection of Judas's gospel. The Book of Judas was not well received by the early Church Fathers. This ancient text, which presented a radically different view of Judas Iscariot, was met with immediate suspicion and hostility. The early church leaders, who were in the process of defining the core tenets of Christianity, found the book's content to be deeply troubling. Deemed heretical, it was excluded from the canon of Scripture and denounced as a dangerous and misleading text. The Church Fathers were particularly concerned about the book's potential to lead believers astray, away from the emerging Orthodox teachings that were being established at the time. This rejection stemmed from the book's radical reinterpretation of Judas's role and its Gnostic leanings, which contradicted emerging Orthodox Christian beliefs. The Gospel of Judas portrayed Judas not as a traitor, but as a favored disciple who acted according to Jesus' wishes. This was a stark contrast to the traditional narrative that painted Judas as the ultimate betrayer. The Church Fathers condemned Gnosticism as a dangerous heresy, believing that its teachings undermined the foundational doctrines of Christianity. Gnosticism, with its emphasis on secret knowledge and spiritual elitism, was seen as a threat to the unity and purity of the Christian faith. And the Book of Judas, with its Gnostic themes and sympathetic portrayal of Judas, became a target of their censure. The text suggested that Judas's actions were part of a divine plan, a notion that was completely at odds with the Orthodox view of Judas as a villain. The book's suppression and eventual disappearance from circulation illustrate the power struggles and theological debates that shaped the development of Christian orthodoxy. The early church's efforts to define and protect its doctrine led to the marginalization and destruction of texts that were deemed heretical. The Gospel of Judas serves as a poignant example of how differing interpretations and beliefs were systematically eradicated to maintain a unified religious narrative. Section 7. The Puzzle of Interpretation, Different Views on Judas's Actions. The Book of Judas poses intriguing questions about the nature of betrayal, obedience, and the complexities of faith. Was Judas a villain or a hero? Was his act one of ultimate betrayal or ultimate sacrifice? The book's enigmatic narrative continues to spark debate and interpretation. Some scholars argue that it should be read as a polemical text, aimed at critiquing certain Gnostic beliefs. Others view it as a genuine attempt to provide an alternative perspective on the events surrounding Jesus' death. Section 8. Enduring Significance. The Book of Judas in Modern Times. The rediscovery of the Book of Judas has had a profound impact on contemporary understandings of early Christianity. It has fueled renewed interest in Gnosticism and other alternative Christian traditions. The book's controversial message continues to resonate with modern audiences, prompting us to question long-held assumptions and delve deeper into the complexities of faith, betrayal, and the search for spiritual truth. Section 9. Conclusion, a window into early Christian thought. The Book of Judas, though shrouded in controversy, offers a captivating glimpse into the diverse tapestry of early Christian thought. It challenges us to confront the complexities of history, the power of interpretation, and the enduring human struggle to comprehend the nature of faith, betrayal, and the divine. By exploring the Book of Judas and its Gnostic context, we gain a richer understanding of the early Christian world and the forces that shaped the development of this enduring faith.